Hey, hey, hey. Hello, ladies. I should start saying ladies and gentlemen now because I have started posting these purges. I've uploaded them to YouTube, to my Mindless Mamas channel. You know, I had this vision of like Mindless Mamas being this community of women, mothers. Let me lower that some more. Of mothers, like a non-judgmental zone where mothers support each other and share all the ups and downs and ins and outs of momming, and like an empowerment space. And I was talking to a single dad, and he's like, well, what about the dads? And I'm like, okay, I hear you. Dads need love too, so single parents, but you know, I already started Mindless Mamas, so I'm like, well, what it'll morph into, I don't know, right? I was also observing like my core values, and my core values is definitely like moving and shifting as things move and shift, right? Making nothing idle. It's been like a really great practice. Like, don't make anything idle. Be willing to shift and change and tap in. Every 7 seconds is one of the tools. That was like an M3 tool, was every 7 seconds. Access consciousness would say every 10 seconds. You know, every school has their way of expressing a tool, but it's all the same tools. It's all the same thing, right? Like, Mami Unami talks about black magic, red magic, white magic. M3 talks about black phase, red phase, white phase. I don't remember what I was listening to. Something else that I was listening to. And it was also like black, red, and white. And like, it was funny because I went through like a phase in my 20s where my entire wardrobe was black, red, and white. Like, I didn't wear anything other than. But yeah, like the message is the message is the message. And the infinite intelligence, source, God, creator, creatrix, mother, father, spirit, whatever you want to call it, you know, is so divine that the way I say, I think I might have said this the other day. I will be repeating myself. I repeat myself. You know, it's like I see like a man on a boat with like millions of fishing lines, you know, so that everyone has a way to connect, right? There's space for everyone in their way. Oh, today's a good day. There's this reel that I saw that I just love. She's like, ooh, look at you over there being happy for no reason. She's like, I love the way you just choose joy because you know that joy has nothing to do with your circumstances. And I've really been like sitting in that place where it's like, I can still be happy with everything falling apart. I can still choose joy. I can choose joy while I'm crying. And while I feel like, I can have both. I can have both simultaneously. And I love that. With that said, I think what played into that for me is, you know, in talking about like sharing, and if I post this in less private places like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, I don't get the pull to put on Instagram, but I do get the pull to put on YouTube and TikTok. But we'll see, because things shift and change, right? So, and I was like worried about like, well, how will other people take it? How will it affect other people? And the messaging was like, yeah, other people can handle it, like, and they're responsible for themselves, and that's like multi-layered, right? So now I'm chatting with my brother, and I'm talking to him about the purge and what I've been doing, and sharing how I wanted to put it on YouTube. But there was this one purge where I talked about the SA, right? In YouTube, you can't say certain words. Like, nobody said, you have to say like grape an essay. I'm like, what is this culture that we live in that we can't call things what they are? Like, it's so weird. Anyways, so I told him about that and like how I remember it and what I remember him saying to me. And as I'm like telling him that I wasn't sure if he was going to be okay if I posted, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, or I didn't want him to feel bad, or and I'm like crying, and he's like, he doesn't even remember. And he's like, I feel like I'm hearing this for the first time. And there was a healing between us. I got an apology, and I got he's like, I can't even imagine what must have been going through my head that I would react that way. And he's like, but if you say that, that's like he didn't make me out like to be a liar, and he wasn't like, no. He was like, if that's how you remember it, then I sincerely apologize, like, I'm sorry. And he said more words. We had a healing. It was definitely a deepening of that, like, I'm not alone and I am loved, and I love my brother so much. I've always loved my brother so much. He was the first friend that the universe gave me. He was the guy that gave me my first medicine, which was laughter, right? Like, we had a rough house. It was rough growing up. And he had a joke for everything. Hey, maybe that's why I have that ability to, like, crack a joke as we walk through hell, right? Because that was my brother. Like, the craziest shit would happen and Danny would find a joke in it. And the first poem I ever wrote was about my brother. There is a man I know, he always puts on a show. I was like in first grade. His feelings he will hide and always show his happy side. That poem's like ingrained in me, right? Like, what is it, like 40 some odd years later, and like I still, all right, 30 some odd years later, and I still remember the poem. Because my brother has always been my hero, right? Like, so it definitely, like, solidified that, like, people can handle things, and I don't have to protect anybody, or I don't have to save anyone, and I can take up space. It's okay for me to take up space. So yeah, I feel like there was something else I was gonna share, and it's gone for right now. Yeah, that's all I got for today. Gotta go. Bye.